This is Carl with the three things I'm watching for Tuesday, July the 15th. Starting out last night's crop ratings came in better than expected on corn, or an improvement on corn, I should say. 74% good to excellent. Um, that might be the report from the USDA. And again, this is, reports from the field do not support that high of a number. What they're saying is where the crop is really good is really good. Where it's really bad, it's really bad. There's a huge division this year. And it comes down a lot to planting. Earlier planted crops are looking quite a bit better than the later planted stuff. That could end up being a major problem in the eastern corn belt where the delays have been all year and the crop just didn't get put in on time. So we'll be watching that. Yes, the crop ratings are good. That is what trade is focused on. Trade is focused on crop ratings, especially on that corn, and really kind of bypassing everything else. The demand, and the fact we could maybe see, we can still see a record yield and be below what the USDA is projecting. So file that away. This crop is not in the bin yet. Soybeans held steady on the week, not too surprising there. Not a lot of stress in the forecast for the next 10 days, but or for the next week, I should say. Getting out the extended forecast for the end of July, starting to add heat back in. We break down, then we're building right back up. We'll be watching that to see if it really turns into anything. If it's just heat, not much of a concern. But you look at the calendar, we've lost a lot of crops in August. File that away. NOPA crush report will come out at noon Eastern time today, expecting to see a record for the month of June. 185.2 million bushels of soybeans crushed. Would be down from May, but still, like I said, a record for June. Soy complex really focused on the meal inventory right now. We got to get some meal moving. A little bit more meal would help. That's kind of slowing down the crush at some Midwestern plants, and that's why even though June is expected to be a record number, expected to be down about 4% from May. Third and final thing today, the Russian sanctions, tariffs, we've heard both, and they are not the same thing. We have heard out of the White House we're going to put sanctions on and also tariffs, the two different things. The concern isn't really, there is some concern with Russia with putting tariffs on those, but it's these secondary tariffs that President Trump wants to put on. They would impact some major countries that we're trying to get trade deals with. India would top the list. India buys a lot of crude oil from Russia. If we tariff India because they're a secondary trade partner of Russia, that could jeopardize our trade relations with India. So this is kind of a snowball that's taken effect and really starting to push things here. This is my concern on tariffs. I am not a big supporter of tariffs. I am not a fan of them. Their use can be, at times unfair trade. Yeah, but just to use tariffs to use them, definitely not a fan. And we have now, this is the second time in the past week we put tariffs against Brazil because President Trump didn't like what Brazilian's president said, and now we're putting them on Russia. Um, these tariffs, yes, we can use them, but when we start using them for political differences, that really disrupts trade and causes more uncertainty in the market. And that uncertainty is why the managed money crowd won't buy. So it's a cycle here. There's tariff news, the uncertainty with it. And when we get stories about this and we have to worry about the secondary effects, really causing some more issues. And that's why we sold off overnight. Hopefully, we get a little clarification on that and we get a rebound today. Those are the three things I'm watching today.